Hey guys, welcome back to the Turnbuckle Tavern's YouTube page. Today we're doing something a little different. We're giving a preview and prediction show for AEW's Revolution pay-per-view that's coming up tomorrow night. There's a lot of buzz going around about this pay-per-view, a lot of names thrown around, and I mean, I love that we get a 4-month buildup for a pay-per-view. We've had almost 120 days to build towards this pay-per-view, and I feel like the payoff is going to be huge.
Yeah, that 4 months.
Yeah, four months, and the payoffs are primed to be huge. So before we get into it, my name's Sneed. I'm a host on the Turnbuckle Tavern that you can find every Thursday. And then this is also our debate team that you can find every Monday on Apple and Spotify at Turnbuckle Tavern. And you can find us on Instagram at Turnbuckle Tavern, Twitter at Tbuckle Tavern. And then you can also find us on ProWrestlingTees.com/tavern to get yourself a t-shirt. So like I said, I'm Sneed. I'll let you guys go around and introduce yourself.
I'm Chad.
And I am Tom, the OG Fig Kid.
Tom, I think this is your debut on the Turnbuckle Tavern's YouTube page.
Yes, it is. I'm honored and happy to be here. And I'm excited for this pay-per-view tomorrow night.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I could be more excited for a pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's so loaded with so many interesting matches. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah.
It's the most excited I've been for an AEW pay-per-view. So I'll be watching it live.
Oh, yeah.
75-inch TV down in a fig cave, so.
Which is where you are now.
Yes, it is.
Are you making your buddy behind you? Is he pitching in?
ET, yeah, he's going to give me some picks.
Yeah, well, I was hoping he'd just, pitch in and help you buy the pay-per-view.
Oh, well, he can do that if he wants to. I wouldn't stop him.
So what we're going to do, we're going to keep score, and everybody's going to give their predictions. And for every one that you get right, you earn a turnbuckle. And then we're going to give predictions for, as we all know, there's 2 big surprises that are coming. I'm sure there'll be more, but there's definitely 2 big surprises. And we're going to give our picks as to who they are. We're going to give 3 picks. If your third pick is who it is, then you get 1 turnbuckle. If it's the second pick, you get 3 turnbuckles. And if it's your main pick, you get 5. It's 5 turnbuckles towards your score at the end of the night. So
yeah, we'll compile these. We'll do these every AEW pay-per-view. We'll keep a running tally. And then at the end of the year, we'll see who was the best booker for the year.
See who has the most turnbuckles. Kind of fantasy sports it. So, but let's get into it. Let's start off and give our predictions for the matches that are happening tomorrow night.
Yeah, the first matchup we're going to do, I think it's actually on the buy-in. It's Riho and Thunder Rosa versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Rebel/Reba.
Reba, not Rebel. Rebel.
Reba, not Rebel.
Not Rebel. All right, so I'll start it off. I'll give my prediction. I think Britt Baker and Reba is going to win the match.
I was going right there with you. Dr. Britt Baker and Reba, definitely. That's my pick.
Yeah, I'm going Baker and Rebel too. I think we're on the verge of seeing Britt get into that title hunt against Sheeta.
Yeah, I agree. And I think this is going to be a good match to showcase her and even put over her heel skills a little bit more.
Yeah.
She's so good, they got to start pushing her more. I see this is just the beginning.
Yeah, and then the other, Riho and Thunder Rosa, they're going to hold their own in the women's division anyway.
Yeah. And Thunder Rosa's, she's still technically a NWA contracted wrestler, and we know that a couple weeks from now, NWA is firing back up. So I wonder how that's going to affect Thunder showing up on Dynamite as much as she has recently. So
yeah, we may see less of her, but that just means we'll see more on NWA.
Right. The next matchup. So everybody's going Baker and Rebel, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then the next matchup we have is the Casino Tag Team Royale. Now with this match, it's technically like a Royal Rumble. We have 30 30 wrestlers, 15 tag teams. Every 90 seconds, a new tag team enters. And I guess, it's a over the top rope battle royal, and whoever the last person standing, whatever tag team they're involved with, they get the win, and they are awarded a number one contendership for the AEW tag team titles. Do we have a list? Can we do a quick rundown of the list?
Really quick, I'll go through the list. We have Bear Country, Dark Order, Reynolds and Silver, Dark Order, Uno and Grayson, Inner Circles, Santana and Ortiz, Butcher and Blade, Private Party, Death Triangle, Pac and Phoenix, Seidel Brothers, Dark Order, Angels and Vance, Gun Club, The Pretty Picture, which is Peter Avalon and Cesar Bononi, SoCal Uncensored. We have the Natural Nightmares, Dustin Rhodes, QT Marshall, Varsity Blondes, and Jurassic Express.
The hell of a lineup, man.
I mean, it's crazy.
it is.
I mean, we've always known that the tag team division's strong, but just listing the 15 teams that are going to be in this just shows you how strong that division is.
Oh
yeah. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be great,
And the crazy thing, FTR is not even in that.
Yeah,
right.
Where are they? I was wondering that as you were writing down the list. Like, I didn't even realize it till just now that they're not even on the card.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
it's kind of crazy.
It's that again just shows you how strong this division is. So with the picks, I'll start off on this one. I believe so. My pick is Santana and Ortiz.
You son of a gun. That was my pick too. In a circle all the way.
That's my pick as well. Santana and Ortiz. I think we're on the verge of seeing them actually get a push towards the tag team titles. I think they're going to be the next champions probably. Well, they'll be a champion within the next 4-month cycle leading into the next pay-per-view. But
it was hard. It was really tough for me to pick though between Pac and Phoenix also, because I thought that was going to be. I mean, that's another team that's primed to go on a run. So
I think that's
looking at the list. There's a bunch of them that you could say is primed to go on a run.
Yeah.
It's that's a dark horse pick because they haven't been a tag team,
right?
As far as Pac and Phoenix,
but
they featured them on the Go Home show.
Yeah, they had music that hit and they ran in last.
Yeah. So
but I still Santana or Ortiz is my pick.
Yeah, I think storyline wise, that's the smart play.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have Miro and Kip Sabian versus Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor.
All right. I guess I'll start off on this one. I say Miro and Sabian win.
All right, I'm going Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor.
I'm going Miro and Kip Sabian. I think you got to keep Miro strong. I know it's a tag team match, so technically he could lose this without losing anything, but I feel
Miro needs this win.
He needs this win, and I think this is going to be hopefully this is going to be a shifting point for him into something new. We've been tied up in this kind of lackluster storyline with Miro. I don't think his debut's been as impactful as people had hoped.
Yeah.
So I think this is a time where you go into something new.
I'm thinking they lose and that sets off Miro the monster and he becomes, raged.
I can almost see that. I can see if they lose and he turns on Sabian. I can see that. That's not a bad way to book it.
That's true too. Yeah, he could flip on Kip.
Could be game over for Kip.
That's it.
Yeah, so far me and Sneed are picking exactly the same.
I'm not shocked.
Okay. All right, next up we got the big money match with Hangman Adam Page versus Big Money Matt Hardy. The winner gets, I believe, their entire earnings for the first quarter of 2021.
First quarter or earnings. Golly. All right.
Including action figures and everything.
Yeah, I guess it's everything. So my pick for this is Adam Page.
Yeah, it's gonna be Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah, I think Hangman.
Yeah. I don't see I don't know. I almost don't see a situation where Hardy wins this. It just
I agree.
seems.
There's no way. I'd
Yeah.
be totally shocked. Unless there's some
All
sort of outside interference to set up another feud or something. You never know. But I can't see Hardy winning.
okay. I picked Hangman, but just for a second, I heard a booking idea for this that's pretty crazy that I just wanted to
Yeah,
float
throw it out
there.
there.
Okay. Matt Hardy wins because Dark Order turns on Adam Page, goes back to being heels the way they've been from the beginning, and Hardy takes the leadership of Dark Order.
You know
Mm,
what's funny? I've had that
that's
exact thought that could happen.
that's in it. I mean, that's
Because
interesting.
he was rumored to be the
Yep.
leader from the beginning. Say he snaps in the match, we get Broken Matt returning.
Yeah.
I think it would be a good angle. I would enjoy it. I've actually thought maybe that's a possibility too. So the fact that that's out there is kind of cool.
The only thing that I think would screw with one of the big things with that is like, well, what do you do with Private Party now?
Yeah,
They're not
built that
Dark
whole thing
Order
up.
guys.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
But it's a fun booking thing.
It's a fun fantasy booking for
It could
sure.
start a feud with Private Party and the Dark Order also. So you never know.
That's true.
Yeah. All right,
I think
what's our next
Hangman.
match?
All right, next match, the Street Fight. Team Taz, Brian Cage and Ricky Starks versus Darby Allin and Sting. I'm going with Darby Allin and Sting.
Yeah, Sting, Darby Allin. There's not a
no
way.
way Sting and Darby are losing this match either. I can't
Yeah.
see that happen. And Sting's coming back. They're giving him the victory in his first match back.
Yeah, I think
Ooh,
that's
everyone's picks are lined up, man. These surprises might be the deciding factor.
I think they will be.
All right. Next up, we got. Well, let's talk about the Street Fight just for a second. Why are you so high on Darby? You know, why do we all think Darby and Sting win?
I mean, a lot of what I've been reading has been talking about how Sting's debut in WWE was a bust. They had him come in, they lose, and they say AEW is not going to treat him the same way. I mean, he's here to entertain people. He doesn't, he could put people over and still win. I can't, in Darby Allin, you have the TNT champion. I don't think you're going to have him lose here. So I don't foresee them losing.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah, and I think you've built up to this is the crescendo of this storyline. I don't think this storyline continues. I don't think Team Taz continues to feud with them. And if Team Taz gets the win, that means the story isn't over. I feel like this is the capper, and everything that's happened in the storyline leading up, I believe you have to put over Sting and Darby.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, next up we got Face of the Revolution ladder match, which is Cody Rhodes versus Scorpio Sky versus Penta El Zero Meta versus Lance Archer versus Max Caster versus To Be Announced, our first surprise of the evening.
All right, well, I'm picking Lance Archer. He was on a little run before he was out with COVID. Kind of got stalled a little bit. I think this is going to really push him moving in the right direction again.
I'm picking Lance Archer as well.
I'm picking Max Caster.
Really?
Really?
Yep. I'm picking Max Caster. I think he has a lot of potential, and I thought they saw a lot in the Acclaim. Bowens is out for a while. They need something to do with Caster and not put him, bury him, because he's really, he's kind of hot right now.
Yeah.
And I think that with his gimmick, I think it would be a lot of fun to see him win.
That would be,
okay,
to me, out of everyone in that match, that's the upset.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That's the true upset.
This doesn't count, but if Lance Archer doesn't win, I would fully expect it to be determined, the surprise entrant to win.
Yeah, that's a big thing. what about Scorpio Sky? I feel like he hasn't got his due yet.
Yeah, he's due for a run too.
Yeah, he definitely is, and that's who I was also torn with Scorpio Sky.
Honestly, I think the beauty of this match, the one person that I would lay my checkbook down and say there's no way this man wins is Cody Rhodes. There's no way Cody wins.
Cody wasn't even a thought of mine, honestly.
No, he wasn't a thought of mine. If he wins,
he's in there to get eyes on the match. That's it.
I hope so.
So the to be announced. This is our first surprise. There's 5. We've listed the 5 people that's currently in the Face of the Revolution ladder match. There's 1 spot open that will be revealed the night of the pay-per-view. Sneed, starting with your third pick, we get 3 picks. Number 1 is the one you really think it's going to be. So start with your third pick and roll down to your first pick.
So go through all 3 of them,
or do we want to go third pick? Yeah, let's go around the horn for our third pick.
I'll do our third.
Let's all do our third.
All right, so I'll go my third pick, Kurt Angle.
Wow, my third pick is Eric Rowan.
My third pick is RVD.
Wow, okay.
All right.
Okay, hold on one second. So let me. I want to get. Sneed's third pick is Angle. And Tom, you're saying Rowan. I like it. That's a out of nowhere pick.
Yeah.
All right, number 2 pick, Sneed.
Zicky Dice.
Oh, love it.
Yep. Zicky Dice is my number 2.
I'm going Chris Hero.
Oh, that's a good one too. I'm going Ethan Page.
I like it.
It's fun.
I like it.
So we got Ethan Page, Zicky Dice. And what was yours, Tom?
Chris Hero.
Chris Hero. Yeah, that's all right. And your number 1 pick, who you think it's going to be?
Ethan Page.
Ethan Page.
I'm going Kurt Angle.
Yep.
Okay.
I feel like we're all on the same page.
We are.
We're pretty close. So
yeah, I think that video, let's talk about that video.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the video at the end. We'll talk about the video that was released.
Yeah, wait till we make our other picks.
Yeah. Okay. So next up, we have the AEW Tag Team Championship match, the Young Bucks versus Chris Jericho and MJF.
New tag team champions, Chris Jericho and MJF. Setting up the match against who I picked to win the Battle Royal. Battle amongst the Inner Circle.
Yeah.
I like it.
I picked the same, Jericho and MJF, and I think Sammy Guevara comes in and helps them win.
Oh shit! So
Ooh.
do you think that this the rift in the Inner Circle was all a play?
Yep.
That
would be
I
nice.
like that.
Cool.
I'm going Young Bucks. I'm going Young Bucks to retain. I think the angle with Papa Buck, like if there wasn't that angle with Papa Buck, I would probably have went Jericho and MJF, because I think you could go 2 ways with it. You could go the thing Sneed's saying about the whole Sammy helping, or you could go, this is them getting the titles is what finally breaks up Inner Circle, because they have to face Santana and Ortiz. So there's so many booking possibilities, but with Papa Buck getting just wrecked and bloodied up and the Bucks seeking revenge, I think they get their revenge.
Yeah, they'll definitely be seeking revenge, and I can see that. I just think this is going to make MJF and Jericho so much stronger when they attack Papa Buck and win the match.
Oh man, I like that more than the Bucks winning. I
just don't think the Bucks need the belts.
They don't.
No, they don't.
I think the belts need to be propelled into a bigger storyline.
I've also heard rumors of the Good Brothers costing the Young Bucks the match and starting a little feud, cross rival between the brands.
Yeah,
there.
I could see that.
Oh yeah, I can see
friends,
that. Yeah,
so.
I could definitely see that, and I like. Jericho doesn't need the belt either, but this would be huge for MJF because it would be his first title.
Yep.
And it's pretty awesome to say your first title was with holding tag team titles with Jericho, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's a list. That's a list you definitely want to be on.
Yeah.
For sure.
So next up, we have the AEW Women's Championship with Shida and Mizunami.
Sheeta wins.
Shida retains.
Yeah, she's gonna retain. I agree.
This
They
match
haven't
is
even.
they haven't built this at all. You can't have this girl come in and beat Shida. Sheeta's
No.
on a tear.
They
Sheeta's
need to
on a
start-
tear, and then what we said earlier, but I think Britt Baker is gonna. It's gonna end up being Sheeta and Britt Baker at some point. Probably
I
double
feel
or
like-
nothing.
I feel like Britt Baker is the star of the women's division right now. Like, she's gonna be the next champ. I think there's got to be a story coming with her. They got to step up that title and make it more meaningful.
I agree. The three biggest names in that division right now for me is Baker, Shida, and then a woman who's not even technically on your roster, Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
So I think you can't have even though they had that tournament, I think the tournament kind of fell flat a little bit, and you can't have a woman that no hardcore AEW fan really knows their story beat someone who's your longest reigning champion in the company.
Yeah.
You have to have a big name take that off of her, I think.
I agree
Yeah, I agree.
fully.
I
Yeah,
definitely agree.
that's the way you make a heel. That's
Yep.
the way you make a big heel, is take it off of this long reigning baby face.
Yep.
All right, we got next up the main event of the night, the exploding barbed wire death match for the AEW World Championship. Jon Moxley versus the champion Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega does no. I mean, I would love Moxley to win, but Moxley's going away after this. I'm going to go as far as saying this might be his last match in AEW. The next time we see him might be back in WWE.
Oh no.
Oh.
We've heard
All right. We'll
no
see.
way, dude. We had that debate. If he leaves, I don't go into our archives on Apple and Spotify to listen to that debate.
Yeah.
Um,
He's not leaving AEW. He's not winning this match. Omega's winning this match, but he's not leaving AEW.
yeah, I'm going Kenny Omega too, and I do think this is something that sends Moxley away for a while.
Yeah.
I think there's a good possibility that he goes away and we don't see him until Double or Nothing.
Right. I agree. I
I
agree.
could see him 2 to 4 months. I think he's gone.
Yep.
Let me explain why I think this could be his swan song with the company, because he loves these type of matches, but he now has a kid coming, and he's going to be too tempted to keep doing it where he's allowed to do it here. He could go to the WWE where it's a softer product. Sorry, I agree with Undertaker. It's a softer product. He'll be making the money he wants to make. He has a kid to worry about now. You know, your mindset changes.
Making the money he
when
wants
you're
to
having
make.
a kid.
What's he making? Peanuts in AEW?
Well, we don't know what he's making, but he's right now. Vince is going to pay him a shitload to get him back.
So okay, this hard-nosed dude has a kid, and the mentality, you think he's going to just be like, you know what? I think it's time to just go back and phone it in on Raw for the like. I just don't see him doing. I feel like he has it in his blood. He's doing like Josh Barnett's blood sport matches. He's in New Japan. He's still got he's not leaving. Not only does he have to get out of his AEW contract, the New Japan thing, like he has so many moving pieces right now that I think he's truly enjoying what he's doing.
Vince isn't going to let him bring that Intercontinental belt over there.
No, yeah, that's true. He's enjoying what he's doing more than he has in forever. I'm just thinking he has a different mentality than he did just a few months ago before he knew he was going to be a papa. So
no way.
Wrong.
This is swan song for these types of matches. We'll see.
Wrong.
I think he is.
I get 10 turnbuckles if this happens at the end of the year.
I think he is the type of guy that wants his kid to see him happy. It's not about playing it safe. He doesn't want to teach the lesson to his baby of playing it safe and doing it for the money. He wants, like, do what you love, do it as hard as you can,
I'll just go wrestle cookie cutter matches in front of 500 TV screens in the Thunderdome. That'll
We'll
be
see.
it.
All right.
We'll
So
see.
the final prediction, the surprise. Paul White teased this, and Tony Khan teased this on multiple interviews this week. It's a quote unquote huge star, quote unquote Hall of Fame worthy. All right.
All right, I'll go my
They're
number
going
three
to come
first.
out and sign a contract, right? Supposedly
Yes.
they're signing
Yeah.
their contract at Revolution. They will be signing this contract live.
Yeah.
My number 3 is Brock Lesnar.
All right.
My number 3, CM Punk. As much as I don't really want to see that happen, I just feel like that has to be my third pick.
CM Punk is also my third pick.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, I have Kurt Angle.
Okay.
Number 2, I have Kurt Angle.
My number 2 is Bully.
Bully. Okay.
That's a really good pick too. Wow. I could really see that. Okay. My number 1, I'm going CM Punk.
My number 1, I'm going Lesnar. And I feel and this is what I think happens. I think Lesnar comes out, signs the contract early in the night, and then after the Omega Moxley match, he comes out and F5s Omega. Yep.
Oh God. Woo.
Yep.
I'm going Bully Ray. I mean, if anyone follows us on social media, you probably saw my post. I think Bully Ray comes down to the ring. I think he signs it. As he's signing his contract, Eddie Kingston interrupts him, and that starts their feud.
Yeah.
I think it's very odd to me that a man who main evented Full Gear against John Moxley and Eddie Kingston, one of your top guys who people love the most, is completely absent from this night. Bully Ray and Eddie Kingston have been chirping back and forth on social media. I think Bully Ray comes down, Eddie Kingston comes out. There's a big angle. They shoot a big angle at Revolution.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would be absolutely happy with that happening. I
love Eddie Kingston's promos. He's so good. He's so enjoyable.
So just to
he
run
stepped up
down
into that Moxley thing, he
no.
deserves something good.
Yeah.
So just to run back through our number 3 picks, me and Sneed have CM Punk. Tom, you had
Brock.
Oh man. Okay. Number 2, I had Kurt Angle. Tom had Kurt Angle. Sneed had Bully.
Bully. Yep.
Then number 1, I have Bully,
Lesnar.
and Punk.
I've CM Punk.
Yep.
Do you think there's
Go ahead.
Do you think there's anyone else that we're not, like Sneed? Me and you had a conversation off air where you were talking about the idea that you think there's a good possibility that it's going to be someone that no one is thinking about.
Yep. I think it's going to be some.
I've heard the rumors of Batista. I don't foresee that happening.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah. What I was talking about was like, I feel like it's going to be somebody that no one's talking about. Like I wanted to give my 3 picks, but I also really believe it's somebody that no one's thinking about. And I think this is something that really may shake up the wrestling world. And I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility that it's somebody that is already under contract with WWE and they come in on a breach of contract.
Yeah, you talked about Tony Khan calling a certain wrestler. Let's say, for just to put a name to it, say Tony Khan calls Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins or AJ Styles.
Throws the book at him and pretty much says, if you show up at Revolution and breach your contract, I will pay all legal fees.
Yeah.
Dude, that would get the wrestling world just on fire. It would set it on fire. That would be amazing.
Here's my thing with that, though, and we talked about this, Sneed. My thing with that is, like, Tony, once you do that, it's almost like you're breaching this code of honor. Like, you can't. Yeah. He's an NFL owner. Contracts are sacred by law? Is he going to get into like what's the media ramifications of a guy like that being tied up in just the legal system and court fees and everything over breaching a
Oh yeah.
WWE contract?
Look,
I wouldn't.
chances are it probably won't be that. Yeah, I think it might be somebody that nobody's thinking about. That when you see him, it's going to be like, oh my god, wow,
Yeah.
didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
The kid fantasy side of me kind of wants somebody that's under
No,
contract.
Yeah.
if it's somebody who only has like a month or two left on their contract or something like that, and he's like, leave early, come on, I could see that.
I just
happening.
don't see it happening. I don't see it's fun. I mean, that would be
Yeah.
It's really
crazy.
fun.
But I don't. So what about everybody's got CM Punk on their list in some regard. What's your thoughts on the possibilities of him actually showing up?
That's why I have him at my number 3. I feel like you have to put his name on there just because you always hear Punk's name when this stuff's brought up. He kind of went in with the swerve on Twitter. They put the swerve out where they said it's not who you think it is, because that's always who you think about. And let's be honest, when they say it's not who you think it is, we're talking about Punk.
Yeah.
However, it's always a name that, I mean, it's always a possibility.
Tom, you had
That's
him at
why-
number 1, right?
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be him this time. I don't know why. Like Brock, I just put there because I felt you had to. Kind of like why you guys put Punk at 3.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that Punk's going to shock the world to come back. That would be the most meaningful shock in person. I mean, I don't even know if it would be a shock, but it would make people talk at this point.
Yeah.
For
You're
me, right. I don't. And you had Lesnar at number 1, right, Sneed?
Yeah.
Talk about that. Why? What book it out a little? Like you booked it a little bit, but go a little more into that. Why do you think Lesnar?
It's just a huge name, and it's a big name to take away from WWE because he's so synonymous with coming in and just wrecking shop in WWE and having the championship. And I'm not saying he's going to beat Omega. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying he's going to come in. And I mean, what a bigger way to end a pay-per-view than with Lesnar coming out, hitting the F5 on Omega after a barbed wire death match.
Oh my God. Here's the thing with that though. How vital is now Lesnar's awesome in the ring, but how AEW is a company that has everyone there for the most part is good on the stick.
Yeah.
How is Lesnar without Heyman?
True.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he has somebody else with him here. Maybe they
wait a
put
minute.
somebody with him. Maybe he comes in with somebody.
Who's to say?
Maybe he comes in with Heyman.
Who's to say it's even a wrestler? It could be Conor McGregor.
I've heard that.
You know,
No way.
just throwing that out there.
You got to have a wrestler.
Yeah, it's got to be a wrestler.
I mean, if it was going to be an outsider wrestling person, I think Conor McGregor would be the only person it could possibly be.
Yeah, and even with him, I'd be let down.
I would be too.
Yeah, that's not going to be. Yeah.
But it would get media attention.
Okay, so we kind of teased this during the Face of the Revolution ladder match surprise entrant. Today on social media, one Kurt Angle released a video, a very cryptic video of him
Gearing up.
Yeah, it was
he's-
very reminiscent of the video that he released back when he debuted on TNA. If you remember
Yeah,
that video,
That's a really good point.
very, very similar. And he looked in great shape. He looked very serious.
Yep.
No jokey Kurt Angle chugging milk. This was like TNA Stone Cold Killer Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that? How did you read that video? What's that video telling you?
He's ready to come into a match. And that's why I think he's coming into the ladder match, because I think he's gearing up. He's not coming out. He's not gearing up to come out and sign a contract. He's gearing up to come fight.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense, but who's to say? You know, this is the perfect time for him to drop it because it's going to get people talking about Kurt Angle. But who's to say he's not coming back to WWE to have a match like Baron Corbin for revenge and come back into WWE.
I don't think that's happening.
Or
He's not coming back to
maybe
WWE.
he's returning to Impact again. You know, you never know. Like, it's a perfect day for him to drop it with the two.
I mean, he could
tomorrow.
even come into the ladder match and then go to Impact.
Yeah, I mean,
He could come into the ladder match, lose in the ladder match, and then show up on Impact.
The other thing I noticed, his video is just too professionally edited. That it's not done by him.
Right, that's true. And honestly, though, like, if you want to go full Carney, he could be strictly, I mean, I don't think this is the case, but he could strictly be taking advantage of the situation to promote his new podcast with Conrad.
Yeah.
To get in the news. Yeah. I think it's a classic AEW swerve. If you remember when they were hyping up the Exalted one, all of their hype videos, all of their teases were pointing directly at Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
It was almost like tipping their cap, and then they went the other way. I think this video by Kurt Angle is made to make you think, oh, he's the surprise, but it's too obvious. I think it's a misdirect.
But is it a swerve? But is it a swerve to make you think he's the big surprise, and then he shows up in the ladder match? It's like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah.
He's the surprise for this. Now, what's the other surprise?
Exactly. The way you book this, you have the ladder match happen before the contract signing. So when this surprise happens and it's Kurt Angle, then everyone's minds are like, holy shit, if this is Kurt Angle, who, you know, that's how you do that.
If you go back to what Big Show said announcing the surprise, he said somebody who is a Hall of Fame caliber, not somebody who's already in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Right.
So, but I could see Angle coming back to WWE. I could see him coming back for a monster run, saying, "Listen, I'm coming back this time to wrestle. I want to have a good run. I don't want to be a joke." You know,
they won't let him do that though.
You don't know how he's gotten cleared. You don't know. We don't know the conversations. We
know how WWE is.
Well, we know how it happened when he came back. Like he wanted to wrestle. He didn't want to go again. He thought he was going to get a Mania match against Cena. He didn't want to retire. They pushed him into retirement. Like they're not wanting to put time and effort into Kurt Angle. I think that's why he left.
You're right. But right now their back is against the wall and they need to do something.
I don't think they think their back is against the wall.
That's what I was going to say. I don't know if Vince has ever thought his back's against the wall.
Maybe in 1996.
Than I thought.
Yeah, maybe.
I think in 96, 97, his back was against the wall, and that's not going to happen again.
Maybe, and I think after week 83 of the war, I think after that he's never thought his back's against the wall again.
Yeah,
you know what I wish? I wish they're moving NXT to Tuesdays. I wish AEW would move to Mondays. Let's start a real war.
I like the Wednesdays.
You beat their developmental.
I mean, and then I know you picked Bully at number 1 to come in. There's just playing devil's advocate. A couple things with that. You said Kingston's not booked on the event. He's, but we also don't have FTR on the event.
That's true.
FTR is also not booked. And if he did mean the Hall of Fame worthy candidate, then Bully's already in the Hall of Fame too.
Right.
But Bully's also not in the Hall of Fame as a singles competitor.
Exactly.
Right, the Dudley Boys are in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
And here's the thing.
There's so many ways you can.
And here's the thing with the Hall of Fame, and this is maybe splitting hairs, but to me, everyone is under the assumption that they're saying Hall of Fame worthy. And immediately all wrestling fans they're talking about WWE's Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Well, why would AEW, I mean, are they going to recognize that as the definitive wrestling Hall of Fame? Like, I don't think that's.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's either a misspeak about Paul White or a misdirect to get people wondering and chattering. I don't know.
It was said so we can make videos like this.
Exactly.
But
that's why it was said.
There have been other promotions that have used the Hall of Fame ring from WWE in storylines. Impact did it. You know,
Yeah.
it's something that is respected outside of the WWE.
But here's
As
the
much
thing
as we
too.
know it's a joke.
If you really want to get technical, I believe, Bully Ray is in WWE Hall of Fame as a tag team partner or as a tag team, but he is in Impact's Hall of Fame, TNA Hall of Famer as a singles competitor.
I don't know. This is something. I mean, what time is it now? I mean, we got about 4 more hours on this video to just to break down what's gonna happen.
Exactly.
And who's to say? Maybe there's is there any huge tag teams out there right now that can come in?
It's not going to be a tag team.
No.
Tony Khan, he came out and he tipped the cap that it is a guy.
Okay.
He came out and said that, and he said it's his favorite one of his favorite wrestlers. So.
Oh wow, he loves Brock.
He likes Brock. He's a big ECW guy, so it could be.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people saying RVD, and if it's who? Before we get off here, who would make you happy? Like what names? Don't go off of who you're picking, but what are the names that you think would satisfy the build up to this surprise?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold. I mean, CM Punk would. Stone Cold would. The Rock would. The Rock.
Lesnar would.
Lesnar would.
But then you've got a lot of names people are throwing around like Christian Cage, Kurt Angle, RVD. I think those would be letdowns.
Well, Christian's still under contract to WWE, so it's not him.
Is he though?
Yes, I just read that he is. It's definitely not him.
I'm glad. I love Christian, but he's coming off of an injury. I don't want someone who's like broken down like Kurt Angle and maybe has a few matches left in him. I want someone who's a little more vital, who can actually be in some like.
Yeah, give something back today. CM Punk, imagine him and Omega having a story.
If it's story. If he would come out and shoot an Angle on Omega, and we lead into Double or Nothing, and that's the main event.
Here's another little tinfoil hat tidbit. WWE took all of Lesnar's merch down.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
has he been in the alumni section, or was he just moved there? Do you know?
I don't know that.
I think he's been in it. I think he's been in it.
But if they took his merch, but even other people that have left are still in the clearance section. So if they took it all down, wow.
I think they still have Zack Ryder stuff in there.
They do. They have Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. And
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, again, we can sit here all day and say, well, the way he tied his boots on that video, he did it left to right, and that means he's going to take a. It's like, come on.
Right.
It's a good point.
There's something he pulled the strap up, and if you watch Bound for Glory, there was a spot where he took the strap down and put the left one up. I mean, there's so much.
I guess my last take on it, it's going to be somebody out of all the names we listed, possibly, or maybe it's someone like you said, Steve, that no one's thinking of. But Tony Khan has said in the last few interviews he's given, in the coming months, there will be a lot of familiar faces arriving and a lot of new faces arriving. So I don't think Revolution is necessarily the end of these surprises.
No, absolutely not.
I think the RVDs and Kurt Angles of the world and the names that we've listed, the Ethan Pages, the Zicky Dices, all these type of people, Chris Hero, Rowan, people like that. I'm not saying they all appear, but I'm saying some of those names may be in the game plan in the weeks and months to come, but not for Revolution.
There's a spot for them. It's just maybe not at Revolution.
Yeah.
You know what?
I agree.
It has us talking. It has people talking. It's good for business. It's fun. I'm looking forward to the pay-per-view. It's all going to be good.
Yeah. So that's going to wrap up our prediction and preview for Revolution. Make sure you guys are tuning in tomorrow night. It's going to be a wild pay-per-view. I can't wait to do our breakdown of it afterwards. You guys will be we're going to do a Turnbuckle Tavern happy hour special tomorrow night. that will drop as soon as the pay-per-view is over. I'd say probably a couple of hours after the pay-per-view is over. You can hear our review of it at that point. But yeah, that's going to wrap us up here. Any final thoughts from you two?
No, just to go out and enjoy the show. It's
yeah,
gonna
buy
be
the show.
what us wrestling fans love. It's a lot of excitement.
This
Yeah,
is what
worthy.
makes me feel like a kid again.
100%.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Stuff like this is what makes me remember what it's like to be a giddy wrestling fan.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I've had this fun type of energy, this excitement for a pay-per-view, like, you know, and for not just one thing. There's multiple stuff multiple things I want to see on the show, so I'm really excited.
This is going to be one of those shows where an hour and a half into it, 2 hours into it, you're going to be like, holy shit, we still have this match and this match. And it's going to be one of those shows.
Not like the WWE pay-per-views of late where like, oh wait, there's only one match left already?
Right.
It's over. It's 9 o'clock. It's over. All right, guys. But yeah, make sure you guys are following us on Instagram and Twitter. Instagram, Turnbuckle Tavern, Twitter, Tbuckle Tavern. You can also follow our group of podcast brethren at Pod Foundation. Follow all of us. You have us, Chick Foley Show, the Extra Cooler Show, and Pyramid Wrestling. You can follow Tom. Tom has give your plug out there.
The Wrestling Fig Fed at Wrestling Fig Fed on Twitter and Instagram. It's Fig Fed of
fantasy
booking, Jazzware figures, fantasy booking. It's fun. Come
Absolutely.
Check us out.
All right, guys.
Wrestling Figure Federation.
All right, guys. Strap in and enjoy the show. We'll see you tomorrow night for the happy hour special.
Revolution. Here we come.